My memories are very good. Uh, we had different strifes, but mainly it was a good time. We had the swim pool. Uh, we had lots of places to eat. Uh, Black homes, Chicano homes. So we were never hungry, even though my parents were kind of poor. I just had a mother at that particular time, but we ate well in spite of that. The community was never poor. There was always something to eat. The Joneses always had a pot. The Medinas always had food. So those type things make it a very happy memory for me. We loved to swim. One neighbor, the Joneses, got a horse, so we enjoyed riding a horse. We just enjoyed each other. We enjoyed one thing we always enjoyed is raiding sugarcane patches locally. Fruit was abundant. Apricots, plums, figs, watermelons. So like I said, it was a happy childhood for me.
And I asked you before, why do you stay here on the East Side? You've lived here pretty much since 1945. What keeps you here?
East Side is just really, to me, a good place to be. It's very comfortable to me. Uh, you can go wherever you want to go from here. Beaches, mountains, desert, Las Vegas, Mexico. All those places are within easy access to you. Uh, but I enjoy the city. Riverside is not a perfect place, but it's a great city. And it's growing, and some things are getting corrected slowly. We finally have a police chief who believes in the community, who's organized a police foundation that helps with different things. They helped us with a recent Empowering Young Women's Conference. So those type of things, look up. There's something to look forward to positively for the area. There is violence, yes. I don't know where you go that you won't find some level of violence. Overall, I feel very comfortable being here in this community.
Living in Colton, which was basically just a Hispanic community, moving to Riverside to be closer to my mother's family. My mother took me to Irving School to start my class, and I believe it was the first grade. Mrs. Balling was my teacher, and I really took a lot of fear because I saw a lot of black African students who I had never seen a black African before, and it startled me because I just thought they were so different, and especially when I saw my mother turn around and walk away, leaving me there, and everyone was trying to comfort me, and but boy, did I learn fast. I got along wonderful with the community there, and I have a lot of wonderful friends of the black community. We still are friends to this day, and I'm in my mid-60s. So I'm very proud of that. And we've always gotten along and done very well. Very proud to have grown up in the Eastside community because there are a lot of stories, well-respected stories, and it's nice to see that those things are finally coming out. Thank you.
Well, I don't know when my uncle came to Riverside. I do know that he was here in 1875 because the Allen Chapel AME Church was founded in 1875, and he was one of the charter members or founding members of the church, and that's been in some of their documented records.
And tell me the importance also of the East Side to the Riverside to the African American community.
Well, for one thing, I think it's important to Riverside, not just the African American community, but Riverside. So many people did not know much about the black community in Riverside, and we had a very thriving community. There were markets, and there were churches and restaurants, and I think people just really did not know. I know, when I go to some of my class reunions, I think I know more about my classmates, then they know about my life experience. And I just think that we need, and that's one of the reasons we formed the Historical Society, because we need to preserve our history.
And tell me a little bit about growing up on the East Side. Those were, as you said, Mrs. Strickland, your formative years. Talk a little bit about growing up on the East Side. What was that like?
I enjoyed growing up on the East Side. I enjoyed Riverside. I had many, many friends here, and I had many people that nurtured me and encouraged me. And I remember my church, there were many women who were just very kind to me, and I wanted to be like them. And they were very giving and sharing people and involved. And I had my mother and my grandmother, and I just had wonderful relationships here and many friends, and we did things together, and it was a good place to grow up. The one thing, though, there were no jobs here for African Americans, and that was very hard, because we would, you'd go to school with everyone. I remember one girl that went to school, was in high school with us, and when we went for jobs, there she was a cashier at a department store, but there were no jobs for us. And I remember my cousin, when he went to apply at a department store for a job, they told him frankly there were no black salespeople, and they were not about to be the first to hire one. End of discussion.